at least somewhat decent coolers. So we got this ID Cooling IS55 in black, and the reason we got a smaller cooler is because we'll talk about in a minute, the case is pretty low profile, so we didn't want a cooler that was super large. And now, just like the cooler, you can't really see the motherboard as well, but you got to pair your motherboard with the right CPU. So we got the ASRock B660M Pro RS. This is a board that we use all the time. We love it because it has 2 4-pins for the CPU, it has 4 RAM slots, it's got some RGB underglow, and a lot of expandability on it, and it's a really good price. And I can't believe it, but 32 gigs is now the standard. It doesn't really say DDR4 or 5, but we definitely assume it's probably mostly 4 still. This is Corsair Vengeance, 16 gigs. It's the LPX, so it's kind of like their budget line. This is actually the stuff you can normally get for free with CPU combos on something like Newegg. Now, Steam does say that everyone has at least 1 terabyte. They say 1 terabyte or more. So we have a 2 terabyte MP44L, but I think that this is cheating a little bit because I'm willing to bet that a lot of these people probably have 512 gig SSDs that are Gen 3. They're probably older drives with a big 1 terabyte hard drive because that was so common just a few years ago. And in pre-builts, they're still doing it for some reason. So I'm willing to say that there's still some hard drives out there.
Now the graphics card, which is probably the most interesting part about seeing the Steam hardware survey. The most popular option is the RTX 4060, which falls in line with the 3060 being the previous most popular option, and weirdly enough, during the shortages, the 1650 was the most popular option, but it's always an NVIDIA GPU, it's always a 60 series GPU, and this being a card with 8 gigs of VRAM, which is also a requirement in the Steam hardware survey. Most GPUs coming with 8 gigs of VRAM makes it that this is the most popular GPU right now when building a gaming PC. Even though it's not really the best price performance, people are still going to buy it anyways, and it's still going to be the most popular option. And for the power supply, again, Steam hardware survey won't tell us power supply wattages. They really only focus on the core components. We went with the Zalman GigMax 600 watt, and we'll talk about why here in a second. 600 watt power supply we use a decent amount of times here at Toasty Bros and PC Bros when we build gaming PCs. But yeah, 600 watts is plenty for this PC build. The 4060 is incredibly power efficient. You could probably get away with a 500 watt if you wanted to, but hey, 600 watts, it's going to work really nicely. And this is a nice transition to today's case sponsor, Zalman, with their nice Zalman Cubix case, which comes in at around 35 bucks if you want to pick this thing up. It's a very compact micro ATX case that is budget friendly. Again, $35. You really aren't talking about something crazy here, but it is very compact, good for like a home theater PC setup. And they sent over the Zalman power supply as well to use inside this case. Now, I will say this is a very compact case. We did make some modifications on the inside here where you can take out this bracket that they added, which we have seen this model of case before, now allows you to add a fan to the front for additional airflow. We've got that 120 mil in there. I did make sure the GPU fits before we did this because again, it does add a little bit of depth there from the front. But this is a nice compact case, and you're looking for a very basic, very small form factor case that isn't mini ITX and doesn't have the mini ITX premium. The Cubix from Zalman is a pretty solid option and comes in white and black, and you can get in and awesome combos as well on Newegg. So in total, this PC build is a little over $800, which is kind of what you expect from a 4060 and i5 12400F build. But we gotta see how it performs in the latest games. Not just the latest games, the most popular games on Steam. We're gonna go ahead and build it and dive into some testing.